So thank you very much for being here. I'm very happy to be presented in Prague. There's a lot of StarNet and Star Wars stuff around, and I'm very, very happy. Just make sure to go to get your swag, like this cool swag in the booth, and ask us anything that you want. We're here to help you. So today we're going to be talking about anti-censorship in a layer 2. Not only in StarNet, but using the StarNet case, but this applies to everyone. So this is a small disclaimer. It is not necessarily the opinion of Star Wars or the StarNet Foundation. And censorship is crucial for us. I mean, censorship really is maybe the reason that why we are here. We don't want to be censored in our transactions. We want to be able to withdraw our funds if we want, if needed. This is why we're here. I mean, this is the issue with this was the issue with FTX, with banks, with governments, and more. So basically, censorship resistance tries to answer the question, what can a user do if they are being censored? And currently, in layer 2s, let's be very honest, you cannot do a lot. You're very fragile against layer 2s. And, well, this is something that might change in the future with the centralization of the layer 2s, but the current situation is that, well, stuff is not good. So, of course, the centralization is the end goal. We want to be decentralized, and this is something that we say always. Why do we want to be decentralized? So that no one can censor you, right? But decentralization is not easy at all. I mean, decentralization is a very, very hard problem. Ethereum, we could say that Ethereum already solved it. Maybe, yeah, very likely, yes. But it wasn't easy. It took years, a lot of money, a lot of attention, a lot of energy. So if you want to create a layer 2, for example, that is decentralized, it will take time, it will take money and patience. And of course, certain mistakes along the way. So again, decentralization is not easy. Of course, it's our ideal. However, there can be cases. So our main goal here is to provide self-custody to users. Yeah? But maybe decentralization is not the only way to get there. Or at least it's like the ideal case, but we can do some stuff before. And this is very, very important. And something very important to know is that validity rollups, or you could call them layer 2s, validity rollups ensure, well, validity zero-knowledge rollups ensure the state's validity. So that means that a layer 2 is not able to steal your funds. Well, if they are well implemented and so on, and I can guarantee that that is the case of StarNet at least, so they cannot steal your money. Even if they want, they cannot steal their money because they are using Ethereum at the base, right? So this is very important for you to know. But they can censor your transactions. For example, they can not allow you to withdraw your funds from the layer 2. But they cannot steal it from you. Okay, so that is very important to note. So for us, validity rollups are the choice to go. Validity rollups is the best way to scale Ethereum, but we need to fight this censorship. But again, they cannot steal you. This is very important for you to know. And something that we want to talk about is the escape hatch. Escape hatch is a mechanism that would allow a user to always be able to withdraw their funds, no matter what. No matter if everyone dies. For example, if everyone in Star Wars dies, or if they got killed. Nah. If something happened to them, or maybe they got malicious suddenly, and they don't want you to withdraw your funds, escape hatch will always be able to allow you to withdraw your funds, which is very important, right? If FTX had this, things would be different, right? If banks would allow you to always withdraw your funds no matter what, well, things will be different. And this is called self-custody of your funds. You can always get access to them. So escape hatch guarantees that. And yeah, so they want to allow you to withdraw your funds, right? So what I talked before. So the hypothesis here that we want to talk about is that not all businesses need to pursue full decentralization immediately, okay? But they still want to provide self-custody to the users. So then they can use other type of measures for specific types of transaction. What is the transaction I'm talking about? Withdraw your funds. It's crucial. Withdrawing your funds is so important in the crypto ecosystem. So imagine that we have a case study of a fintech, let's call it fintech A, that is creating a trading company. So it's an exchange. They are trying to provide trading services. And their priority, let's be very honest here, like very, very honest. I know that the Ethereum ecosystem is very idealistic, and we love to talk about decentralization and privacy and that stuff. But in the end, what matters, well, for companies, for entrepreneurs, is profitability. They want money, okay? And they want to create a product that attracts people. And something that they can say to their user base is, hey, I provide you with self-custody, okay? What that means is that I won't be an FTX. I won't be able to steal your funds from you. So I am an entrepreneur, I am creating the trading fintech A, and I can provide you with self-custody. If it goes well, and it attracts people, then this entrepreneur will have success. No matter what blockchain they settle on, whatever. They only want to be profitable, okay? So these guys want money as soon as possible. They don't care that much about decentralization and so on. So for them, the minimum they want to allow the users to have is the ability to withdraw their funds independently, without third parties. Again, think about the FTX case. FTX, with a full withdrawal transaction, you would be, I don't know, stuff would be very, very different. So there are two critical operations in this case, and this is actually a very similar case we have in StarkX already. So the full withdrawal of funds and the forced trade. And these are the two transactions that, for example, who here knows DYDX? DYDX, all right. So DYDX is very famous. So I don't know if you know this, but they are not decentralized, but they have these two transactions forced by escape hatch. So what I'm talking about is not hypothetical. It's something that has been already working for years successfully. So in DYDX, you can do full withdrawal of your funds and a forced trade. So this would allow you not to be censored in case DYDX becomes malicious or something like that. But this can be provided to other type of companies, right? So for this entrepreneur, those are the two crucial transactions. And the moral of the story that I'm telling here is that this entrepreneur only wants profitability. And for them, self-custody is a selling point to their users. If it doesn't work, they will jump and go in and do it in Amazon Web Services, right? And we need these entrepreneurs. So we need to make it as easy as possible for them to be able to sell their product to the user base. And escape hatches is what that is. So, and this is very important from a regulatory point of view, and this is a real case again. You cannot say that you provide self-custody to your user base if you don't show it, like legally, really legally. Because you will be claimed that you are not providing self-custodial services. But you can do it with escape hatch. And this is the case of DYDX, for example. So having an escape hatch allows you as a company, as an entrepreneur, to say that you are providing self-custody to your user base. You cannot do it otherwise, because if you're doing it, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, in Polygon, if you're doing it in Solana, something like that, they will ask you, are you decentralized? Is your product, is the blockchain where you are decentralized? The answer is no. The answer is no for Arbitrum, Optimism, whatever you want it. No layer 2 is decentralized yet. Not even Starknet, I mean. But if you provide them with escape hatches, then you can legally claim that. And this is very, very important. Like for an entrepreneur that actually wants to build something, this is crucial. And again, this is good for everyone. The DYDX cannot steal your funds, for example. So in the end, it's a happy story. So trading fintech A boosts their profits. There's user satisfaction, but because they are able to withdraw their funds, and there's more security, and the Ethereum dream happens, right? Blockchain complied with its mission of providing self-custody. Okay, so as a corollary, I think we don't need to pursue decentralization immediately. We want more entrepreneurs. We want more self-custody for millions of people. Let's make it as easy as possible for them to do this. And for this, an apply case for this, I talk about the DYDX, for example, but we will also have it in Starknet app chains. So basically, an app chain is a chain dedicated to a specific transaction. So what is my purpose? You are starting an app chain, you run an exchange, and that's it. Very simple, like very small case, an exchange, an NFT platform, something like that. So I don't know how they call it in other blockchains, but app chain is how it's called in Starnet. Maybe they have another name in CK Sync or other layer 2s. And this is a very cool image. As you can see, app chain, which is a blockchain for a specific use case, are already active a lot. Look at this. This is the L2 bits dashboard. And as you can see, I mark in orange and in blue different blockchains, like different layer 2s that are specialized only in a single type of like they provide their users with a couple transactions. They are not universal blockchains where you can build whatever. And particularly in blue, you can see the StarkX or StarkNet related app chains. You mean, like, I mean DYDX, Immutable, Apex. So as you can see, there are a lot of these type of app-specific blockchains, layer 2s. All of these are use cases for escape hatches. And actually, a lot of them already have escape hatches if they are using StarkX. So actually, the StarWare team is here. And if they can correct me, but there are escape hatches already in several of them. Oh, am I wrong? Or, right? Yeah, right? StarkX, yeah. So the blue ones are a perfect use case for well, all of them are use case for escape hatches, while the blue ones very likely already have escape hatches. So they cannot steal from you, even though they are not decentralized. So this is very important, and it's very relevant for people to know this. And escape hatches have been used already in the wild a lot of times. So this is the case of DYDX. There have been about 150 forced transactions in DYDX that people that want to experiment the escape hatch. So they withdraw their funds from DYDX. This is true data that you can see in L2 bit. So escape hatches, again, are already providing self-custody to the users, even though DYDX is not decentralized. And is someone complaining? I don't know. Would you complain that it's not decentralized, even if you... Imagine you are a user, a common user. Would you want it to be decentralized if they are already providing you with the ability to withdraw your funds? I mean, of course, always decentralization is the end goal. But, I mean, you can live like this. You can live like this. They are not going to censor your withdrawal of funds. So your money is always going to be your money. So Ethereum dreams, right? So I would go very quick through how an escape hatch actually works in the wild. So what we have here is a combination between the layer 2 and the layer 1. So the layer 2 is on the left corner, and in the center we have the layer 1. Here we have several smart contracts like a verifier, the standard core contract, the forced transaction queue, and the standard app chain bridge. While in the layer 2 we have a balance calculator, which is the most important contract, like for me right now to explain it. And then we have a escape tool, which is basically, in this case I put Madara plus Stone, but it's basically a sequencing tool plus a prover, right? The StarWare prover is called Stone. And then this is, well, I know this looks very weird, and if you want to take a photo or something like this, but this is basically how escape hatch works. So, number one, the user requests a forced transaction because they are feeling like they can be stealed by I don't know, DYDX, whatever app chain, right? So this goes into the layer 1, in red is the layer 1 contracts, while in blue are the layer 2 contracts. So the user requests the transaction in step number 1. In step number 2, the layer 1 submit the request to the layer 2 app chain. So, hey, please give me my money. This user wants its money back. And this app chain, or for example, DYDX, for example, can decide whether yes or not to give them the funds back. If they give the funds back, then it's done. But if they don't, because they got malicious or whatever, then there will be a freeze system, which will freeze the app chain. It will stop all transactions. And this is very bad for the app chain. Like, all the transactions stop. Once it is stopped, then we go to step number 4, in step number 5, where the user can use escape tool, the Madara and Stone escape tool, to generate a proof of the balance of the resources of this individual. Then the proof is sent to the verifier to synchronize with the latest state. And if we go to do step number 7, then the bridge will see if in step number 6, the user now can request the fund withdrawal to the bridge. And in step number 7, the bridge will check that the system is actually frozen, so it can withdraw the funds. And then it will go to 7B, raise the request, and prevent double spend. So basically, it's seeing that everything is OK. And it will be able then to transfer the funds to the user. So I know it looks kind of complex, but if you go to L2 bit, there's actually a button that says withdraw my funds for DYDX. So you can you basically click one button, and you need to wait, I don't know, maybe 5 to 7 days, and you will get your funds back. So you can, with a click of a button, do all this. So you don't need to care much about this. I know this looks a little complex, more for technical stuff, but with a single button, you can withdraw your funds in case a blockchain becomes malicious. And well, of course, there are a couple risks. For example, you could say that if I want to stop DYDX because I hate DYDX, I can do a lot of transactions, like, I don't know, maybe 1 million requests to withdraw my funds, to see if one of the funds, if DYDX is not able to comply with them like quickly, and then DYDX will be frozen, right? They will be punished. So I will be able to spam the network in order to affect them. But for that, what Starware does is that there's a high gas fee to make a withdrawal fee. So you cannot, it will be very, very costly. I think like in the order of $10 million in order for you to spam a blockchain. So like, it doesn't make sense. So we're trying to prevent this kind of stuff. Also, another issue could be the contract updates that bypass the freeze. Well, this is a topic for another day. And well, basically, next steps that are being considered in the Starware and Starnet ecosystem is let's create more escape hatches for the Starnet app chains. And number 2, what about a escape hatch that is bigger, that can comply to different use cases? Just as a summary of what we talked today, we need to provide entrepreneurs with the tools for them to provide self-custody to their users, but to make it as easy as possible for them. Because we cannot expect them to fully decentralize in order for them to provide self-custody. And that is what we want. We want self-custody, right? We want a world where you can be free to withdraw your funds whenever you want. So we can use escape hatches, which are already being used a lot, in this type of blockchain-specific transactions, like trading, exchanges, NFTs, that kind of stuff. You can apply it already. And this is something that we need to ask the layer 2s to do. Provide a mechanism to easily provide self-custody to the users. Because, again, we want to provide self-custody to billions of people. And if we wait for every layer 2 to be decentralized in order to do this, I don't know, how much will it take? 5, 6, 7 years? I don't know. Will we even be able to get there? I don't know. So thank you very much. My name is Omar Espejel. I work at the Starnet Foundation, before at the Starware. And well, that's my Telegram. And feel free to contact me whenever you want. Thank you. I know if there's time for questions. I think we have 4 minutes. Any question that you, yeah. You.
You mentioned the general case for an escape hatch instead of an app chain. I'm just wondering, say someone initiated an escape there and the chain got frozen because of it, and I happen to have my assets not in my wallet, but say in some sort of vault or something, could I still use the escape hatch? How would that work? Or is that like kind of an edge case that needs to be explored?
It's a great question. I think that when you say a vault, what do you mean? Like
some smart contract, for example. So like if the chain isn't frozen, I could withdraw it from there, right? Yeah. But if it's frozen, I'm assuming I can't. But I don't hold the tokens in my wallet.
Yeah, I see. No. I think that is more of a general case, as you mentioned. Like currently, escape hatches are done in very specific transactions, like layer 2s that only allow you to do, for example, 2 different movements: withdraw your funds, or make a for example, in the case of DYDX, withdraw your funds or make a transaction. So there's no such of a vault right now, but we want to work on that kind of stuff. Like, how can we ideate a escape hatch that will be useful for all cases? But this is complex. This is very, very complex because the bigger the domain of the escape hatch, the harder it is for us to maintain it secure. So it's a hard goal, but it's something that is being explored already in Starware and Starnet, and well, Starware and Starnet Starware has already shown that they can do very, very cool stuff engineering-wise. So, yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. Any other question that you might have on this or comment? No? Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you very much.